Okay, my friend, this is a what you said?
A 53-foot trailer, and it is a dry van trailer because there's not a refrigerator attached to it.
Okay.
If there was a fridge attached to it, it would be a temperature controlled load, or they normally refer to them as reefers.
Reefers.
Correct.
Okay. You know, I did trucking back home, you know. I did trucking for 32 years, so I find it intriguing.
Nice.
These big trucks, but we have some good drivers back home too with these big trucks, huh?
The one we're passing right here is a 13-foot box truck.
A 13-foot box truck.
Yes.
Now tell me something. How are you so acquainted with the sizes and the capacity of these trucks? You have your own business?
I do. I have my own trucking company.
Is that right? That's beautiful.
Yes.
How long you been into this trucking business?
Well, I started right in the middle of COVID. You believe that? People would probably have said, you're stark raving mad to try to start a business right in the middle of COVID. But actually, it turned out to be the best decision I ever made.
So, what was the advantage in starting in the middle of COVID?
The advantage is you are at home, you're holed up in the home, you can't go anywhere. So you and your laptop become best friends and you start to seek out other opportunities. And it was my girlfriend's husband came to the house one day and said to me, you need to start your own brokerage firm.
Hazard reported ahead.
And that's where it started. He sent me down a research path, and in that research I also found a company that could teach you and train you about the mechanics of trucking. And I learned through a guy by the name of Charles Mundy, and he was an awesome teacher, and he mentored me about the whole brokering firm. And once I learned all of the basic mechanics of the ropes of brokering, my partner Paul said to me, and now you need some assets. So I said, what's that? He said, we're going to turn the brokering firm into an asset-based brokerage firm, which means I'm going to give you some trucks. And so we started out with 4 trucks, and we got in touch, or got aligned with a company out in California who did intermodal. And during this time, the ports here in America, they were just bursting at the seams with freight, unable for drivers or trucking companies to go in to fetch them. So it was a perfect opportunity. So we decided that we would establish our membership with the intermodal governing body called the UIIA. And so I had to create a membership with them, which was a 2-month process. And after being approved for the membership with the UIIA, our trucks now could go into ports and start hauling loads.
So how many trucks altogether you have?
Right now we have 12.
12.
Yes.
And what's the furthest run they might make?
We had one time where we ran a load all the way to California.
How many miles away would that be from where you're based?
About close to 3,000 miles.
Wow. So business is picking up, I would say. I would think.
Business was extraordinarily busy in the latter part of 2020 and the latter part of 2021 and all of 2022. We were busy from January 2022 all the way to December 2022. Then we got a little slow because it's seasonal work with intermodal work. It has its peaks and its valleys.
Okay.
And long story short, we've been in a little bit of a valley, but we're about to come out of it right now because we're starting to bid and quote on lanes up again.
Okay. Tell me something, is insurance heavy for trucking? The kind of trucking, freight trucking you do?
It can be. Insurance premiums are often determined on the age of a company, the experience of the owners and the drivers. So the year that I took to develop my knowledge in the trucking industry helped me when we were now ready to launch the 4 initial trucks and get them insured, because one of the things they asked me for was my resume and how long I had been in the industry, and anything over a year, you know, they look favorably on that.
Okay.
So it helped to keep the premium at a moderate rate. We also enlisted drivers who had no driving issues. They had clean records, so that it could also help as a discount for the premium.
Any female drivers in your fleet?
I do. I have one, and she is a darling girl.
Okay. What's the furthest run she has made?
Furthest run she has made is, I think, up to Virginia and South Carolina.
Okay.
She likes to stay regional. Regional is you pick a particular geography and you stay within the confines of that geography. So, for example, our region, we have crafted it out as the southeastern region to southwestern region. So easterly, we start at Virginia, we come all the way down to Florida, and then when we're heading towards the west, we go as far as Texas and we stop.
So is it customary, you being a woman, of course, in this field? Is it a common intrusion, or is it inclusion in this kind of industry, trucking industry, or freight industry, as you will call it?
In this industry, women have found their niche. You have a sizable amount of women brokers, you have women drivers, you have women freight forwarders. So we have made our footprint in this industry. So I think the men are used to us in this industry.
That's nice. No elbowing.
That's right.
Okay, that's really great. That's really great. So what are plans of expansion you might be seeing for your company, if it is not a secret to let out?
So we're looking at creating an integrated model for our business. Integrated model meaning we want to do a blend of intermodal work, port work, moving containers from the ports across America. But we now recently partnered with a new gentleman who owns his company for the sole purpose of purchasing containers and selling them for exports.
Oh.
So we're going to partner with him in that business to work with anybody wherever they are, in the Caribbean, Europe, wherever they may be. We want to start soliciting and building relationships in those areas to reach out to people who are looking to move freight from the US, and to do that they would purchase a container. We could make the arrangements to pack the container, seal it, and take it to the shipping company of their choice, to the port of their choice, and get their goods off to them to wherever they are.
Very interesting. Very good. So you have not done any business yet with Trinidad?
No, and that's one of the countries we would love to be able to penetrate. There's lots of opportunities down there. We know a lot of Trinidadians have business deals here in America that, you know, they want ways and means in which to move their commodities back to their homeland. That's one of the ways in which, through our export model, Agility Transportation and Agility Freight Brokerage is able to help.
Very good. Very good. Is there any government assistance at all in your industry?
Absolutely. Right now, I'm in the process of filing for a certification called the Woman-Owned Small Business Enterprise. And that certification will enable women-owned companies, small business, to be able to penetrate firstly into the industry. So we would get the first chance at bids with anyone who desires to do business with us for moving freight. So we get the edge over that. And it's a government-backed program that will enable us to integrate into the government bidding system called the SAM system. There are grants that as a woman-owned business I could try to procure, a host of things, small business loans, all those things. So we do have government backing. It's just for us to reach out and start leveraging it.
Very good. One more question before we close.
Yes.
You know, parents like to involve children in the business and perhaps see a future involvement of children. Do you see your children, you know, becoming part of this? Is this part of your dream that your children might be able to fit into, you know, future plans in the trucking industry?
Well, I say this with a caveat. Right now, I'm sure of my kids, but tomorrow they could change. So I could tell you today, Kyra would run. She would say, "No, Mom, I don't want to have any part of that." And Kyra, if you ever watch this video and you think I'm wrong, I humbly apologize. But I see more Warren getting involved. I have this dream of building a integrated application system that would be all-encompassing to carry forward the entire life cycle of the transportation industry, from the port to its intermediary repackaging, transloading step to its final mile, which would mean we would have to solicit and use the over-the-road services, tying that to the container services, as well as the export services. And to do that, you need to build a good, robust system that is a good representation of that entire life cycle. And I think Warren would be very interested in helping me build that application. Very good.
When you first came to America, did you ever think or envisage that you would be this involved in this kind of industry?
I never thought it, not for a minute. I just thought I was going to be a 9-to-5 girl until I retired. But I realized that when I was in the 9-to-5 realm, something else was calling me. So Donnie, you're very creative. Chart your own course. It took me a while. I went, got my degrees, and still the call didn't stop. I still heard it very audibly. Chart your own path. And that door opened when my friend Paul said, "You need to start your own business." And I did.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you very much, Sidoni.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
These girls are really cheering it up. Thank you very much, and all the best in your future endeavors. I'm sure you'll do good.
I thank you.